Welcome back to KBC Lunchtime News, and as we'll be having a live interview, but that will be handled by Wahome. I can see him on the other side of the studio. Daniel Wahome, and tell us more about what we you, bearing in mind that the World Rally country in the next couple of weeks.
Well, a very good afternoon. Well, it's one opportunity to speak with the team principal of manufacturers in the World Rally Championship, and joining is Richard Milliner. He's the team principal of EMS. That's one of the competing teams. They're back in the one lesson for us to get to listen to him. So let's move over to the UK. Good afternoon from Kenya, but I think in the UK. To you, Richard.
Yes, nice. Good to speak to you.
All right, thank you very much. And let's talk about the lessons learned from the hybrid era, and what do you want for the 2024 season?
A lot of challenges, I guess, the last year. Not necessarily all of the results we want, but we still won 2 rallies, which was very good. To the new season, 2 young drivers out of the year with a 5th overall in Monte Carlo, his first ever podium in Sweden. So Greg and learning the team still, his first full season in. We're looking forward to come back to Kenya almost we were there because of the date change, but looking in March and seeing what the weather conditions and the rally will.
Well, it's actually 16 days and counting to the rally, so a lot of expectations. Mention about Adrian and Greg. So let's talk about Adrian for more. His first stage win when he came back in 2021, but after Monte Carlo, second in Sweden. Since then, he would ever have thought he's collected.
When we had the opportunity to go back into the Rally 1 car, we were very cautious to do and how he wanted him to approach the season, which was be sensitive to rally, not get drawn into the fights too quickly. He, as a driver now, is very mature and is a very different person compared to a few years ago when he was with. It's worked very well so far. Good opportunity for us to get some good points and but it's a very complicated rally and a tough rally. The weather could throw in an added challenge again. But let's see.
Well, let's 2 rallies in Rally 1 and Central European Rally in 7th overall. Your choice to Rally 2 driver.
It was quite a late decision to go with this, but we decided. Often gives you a very good mentality, environment within the team, and a good kind of feeling. And we're wanting to win the championship, competitive on the front of every rally. So, team and going back and having a new, younger approach, with little expectation really, but already kind of expected. It's been a good environment and potential there, and I think the team can see that, and the fan. And again, like we said to Adrian, for Rally Kenya, you drive sensibly and make sure you finish every stage result. So I would not be surprised at all if Greg Wahome set some good times over the course of the weekend.
Said Reedis is coming back. That M Sport does when their privateers may want to use your car.
Yeah, I mean, we actually have 2 privateers coming with us. Back again, he loves the event, he loves the country, and likes and do this challenge. He actually was in Kenya at the end of last year as well, so he's a big fan. A customer called George Vasilakis, who is coming for his 2nd year. The event seems to have a very big attraction for a lot because of how different it is to everything else we do, and we know that as well. George actually has a fellow colleague with him, so it's a big M Sport family again, and Jordan. So yeah, it's be a very nice team spirit, effectively the 4 cars together. So we're looking forward.
Well, the biggest talking point after the first 2 the Saturday points, the Sunday points, and so how are you adjusting to this new rule change? And so competitive at the same time, but they don't take extreme risks with the car.
I think there has been a lot of, unfortunately, negative comments towards the. Actually, it works quite well. Yes, there is. I'm sure over the course of next year, maybe gets a few bonus points to ensure they take the most points home. You know, these are very small things, in my opinion. A lot of sports to understand and have complex point scoring systems competition, and that's what we wanted. And you know, rallying needs to change and develop, so we put a good change in, so now we can not what we want, but I think actually you see the drivers are approaching it slightly. I had a bad first day in Sweden and score a lot more points than he would have prior to and actually I think Elvin and Thierry scored more points in the system. So I think it will take a few rallies, but we have to keep developing, and I think it's now you will have seen a lot of news about the development of rally events. There's some big changes coming, and I think it's good for the sport.
Any kind of modifications for the WRC? As we've started seeing the pictures of the one on your Puma.
Yeah. Opportunity to add a snorkel to the car. We have finished ours. We are actually doing some testing in the UK today. Site for durability. It depends on what the weather conditions will be like. If we need to use it, to have it available, so the cars will look slightly different this year. Or the majority of the rest of our car will be similar to last year.
The outlook for the rest of 2024 after the safari and Croatia, which will be the first, what we call the real proper, European winter event.
Yeah, so we said to our drivers, we want 3 sensible rallies. They're all very different: Monte Carlo, Sweden, Kenya. Then we come, start the real bulk of the season where and choose the rallies where we want to be try and be a little bit more competitive. But I think ultimately we approach every rally in the same points, not to have any problems, and by doing that already, championship. So I do believe he can stay across the course of the season with the right approach, and I think that some more podiums is definitely possible for both drivers, in fact.
Thank you very much, Richard Milliner. He is the team principal of the World Rally team, and like we all will be telling you, Karibu Kenya, and that the country can offer. So remember that broadcasting the World Rally Championship, that is, we shall be bringing you that for you, KBC Channel 1, and we will the Easter weekend. So back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Wahome. Need for Speed this year championship, and especially the Safari Rally, the country plus KBC televising 5 of those stages. Thank you so much, Wahome, for that. Regards to rallying. Away from that, Focus to matters business. Increased cost of living, 60% of their income to living expenses and a fifth to savings. This is according to the second financial services monitor that indicates that 41% of Kenyan women have tapped into their have resorted to borrowing from chamas.
The second edition of the Old Mutual Financial Services % of women in Kenya expressed confidence, with 54% reporting significant financial stress higher than their male counterparts, standing at 41%. The COVID-19 pandemic on earnings is also